start from the start. It started
Yep.
right during the pre-match press conference. The day before, when you see have the pre-match press conference, it was there, right there in that moment. You could feel that there was this tension in the air, with everyone talking about, given how we performed in the away league in Abha in Saudi Arabia. And then coming to it, Ashley Westwood made a very good statement that, the planning that Afghanistan did, this is to say, this is a country run by the Taliban. Okay.
Mm.
They reached India after the away game, before India reached India. So they had that
Yep.
planned out. So they came in here before the Indian national team could land here. We were hearing all those chatter about private jets and whatnot and whatnot.
Mm.
Thank God we arrived for the game. Well, and Afghanistan were better planned, better prepared. They knew what had to be done. They had players that had that know Indian football, and they also have players that are not playing football at anywhere. Ashley was very clear. He has 6 players, 5 to 6 players who are without clubs. They don't play club football. All they can do is just train around in their locality, play kickball around. Coming to India's point of view, Steamac was again vocal in the pre-match press conference about the camp, the long duration camp, and he was questioned by several journalists that being an international coach, how can you expect to get camps before every international game you play? That is not possible. Then you are either asking the federation to run just a 2 month league like ISL was a circus back then, or else just stop the national leagues and just keep the players in camp. This is illogical. And then I have this point coming to his camp statement. He said Afghanistan had a very long duration camp in Abha and so and so. So when I spoke with Ashley, and what I came to know is in January 3rd, mid Jan, they had a 3 week long camp in Abha in Saudi Arabia. What it was mainly was, it was a trial where Ashley had called up a lot of players from across the globe and even from Afghanistan. He wanted to try new players out, and from that camp, 50% of the players were sent back. They're not part of the squad that beat us here in Guwahati. They were not part of it. It was just more of like a, what do you call it, a trial camp that we had. In that During that same period, that Steamac says they had a camp, long camp. Okay, if not a camp, Steamac had those boys, this bunch of players with him for the Asian Cup. They were there in Qatar. They were together. They were training. They were playing way better competitive football. Yes, the goal was different. The aim was different, but you were training. You were preparing, and you went into the Asia Cup telling us not to expect anything. When you have that players with you and you already know you're not progressing to the next round, you should have thought of these games that are coming up in March. You should have prepared them that way. Come March, Afghanistan just had 3 days more practice than us, and this is with players that are not playing football. Our guys went into the game playing in a league, at least playing in a better quality league compared to the Afghan players. And when you just keep blaming and look out for excuses, what you're doing is you're not looking at yourselves, the drawbacks that were there. So this was pre-match, and everyone got a feel of it that the next day it's not going to be rosy or anything.